Laline.
Yeah, I don't know.
Laline,
I'm the only one who didn't get to go to that.
You suck. And Joe Greenberg.
Joe Greenberg didn't go.
Yeah, so we got.
Is that like a
David Herrera was an NG. After watching David Herrera play,
he was one of the best movies of all time.
So for sure, it was a great one.
Yeah.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Live BKS postseason preview show. I'm here amongst greatness. Apparently, we have between all of them, we have 11 championships respectively. We have 4, 5, and 2. Listen, we're going to be talking about the postseason upcoming, but before we do, I actually want to introduce to you and reveal to you the 2018 All-Star team. Congratulations! It was a record amount of votes. I think 97% of the league voted. You didn't vote? No. So you're the 3% that didn't vote. So no, before I get into that, I just you really didn't vote?
I didn't vote.
What's wrong with you?
Time got away from me.
Yeah, really terrible. Okay, so listen, record voting. It was an amazing season. We had everything was close. Everything was within 2-3 votes. There were 4 positions decided by 1 vote,
wow.
And that is, I'm not making that up. It's crazy, including pitcher. So that's obviously the parity in the league is it's unparalleled. It was a great year this year. I'm looking forward to a great postseason. And without further ado, I would like to at least announce the teams.
We haven't seen this yet.
This is all, they haven't heard this. I'm the only person with this information. Just want to get that out there. By the way, I'm introduced. We have Joseph Ferrati over here on the far right. We have Stephen Gindi in the middle. And we have Ray Esses to my left. And I round out the 4. This is going to be a good show. So either way, here is the All-Star team. I'm going to start with starting pitcher. So going into the year, it was up in the air what these young guys were going to be at the starting pitcher position. We have a bunch of young rookies with a lot of talent, obviously, but no one knew how these guys were going to pan out. And obviously, it goes without saying, the best pitcher in the league statistically was Yakov Saruya. I know there were a week here and there where people said he looked hittable, but bottom line is his numbers are inarguable. First pitcher, obviously, was Yakov Saruya. He was the first selection as the All-Star pitcher. You look, like I said, between ERA and WHIP and wins, and he had a great year. So after I actually announce each position, I'm going to actually ask these guys their take on what they think. The second pitcher was actually a little bit of a surprise for me. It was Eddie Nissim. Eddie Nissim, he had a high ankle sprain. He missed a few weeks. I thought, based on the fact that he didn't play most of the year, he actually got in on name recognition, but, obviously well-deserved. Anytime you're voted into a spot on the All-Star team, you get it. So what do you guys think on the starting pitcher spots for the All-Star team?
It's well-deserved. Well-deserved.
You have any people you would think that go in aside from those 2?
What I would say is watching my pitcher, Michael Diamondstein, play last week, if he pitches like that, he should be #1 pitcher, hands down. Fantastic.
The numbers are more impressive than Yakov Saruya than what I saw. Obviously, I saw him early on in the season, 1 week, so it's hard to judge. But the numbers are impressive, so I can't argue that. And Eddie Nissim, I think, says a lot about what he did for us before he got hurt.
Yeah, but look,
he got to keep us in first place.
But Stephen, after he got hurt, you guys won without him. So
we did.
What did Eddie Nissim really do for your team?
Well, we split the last 2 weeks prior to this past.
Sure, no, I'm not taking anything away. Really,
I'm
saying for All-Star selection purposes.
First place. I think first place is important. First thing you have.
And I agree, and I think it's the right call. Ray.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, Saruya deserved it. He really pitched well under sub-2 ERA. So
it's unheard of.
Yeah, I don't care how good their defense was. He's for sure on there. I didn't really see Nissim. When I faced him, he wasn't there. Eddie Herrera looked good as a rookie. The future is bright.
I thought he was the guy that was going to grab the second spot. To be honest.
I mean, we got you also coming into the league, but obviously this wasn't your year. So I mean, I guess you can't argue with Eddie Nissim. Mark Cohen had a terrible year. They finished in last place or second to last place. So I guess you got to go with the first place pitcher and Yakov Saruya, who was by far the ERA king.
How about some love for Jackie Schwecke, second place?
That's true. Yeah. Always forget about Jackie. It's true.
Everyone overlooks Jackie, and he'll tell you everything's in my arm.
Jackie, don't forget to put your name up on this video.
I already got a text just now that I did. And now I'm going to actually go to the infield position. I'm going to rattle off all the names. I'm not going to get into who got snubbed or who didn't get snubbed, but Stephen J. Gindi starts it off with the leading vote getter at shortstop, well deserved. I don't got to talk about Stephen. And then Stephen's good friend Teddy Ishak was the second selection. And then we have Mark. Then we have Mark Richter, which also really solid year for Mark Richter, strong all around. And then another surprise, I know you guys weren't surprised, but I was, Jack Beebe. Another impressive year, led the league in home runs. I know he had actually a pretty good year defensively at third base. What?
I tied him with home runs.
You had 5?
You had 5 home runs?
Yes.
Oh wow, so there you go. Tied with Joe S in home runs. You were ready for that, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
waiting all the time.
Okay, good. And then we have DT, who was a perennial Gold Glove second baseman, and then Jack Harari, who had a surprisingly really solid year. He batted in the 480s, I believe, or 470s, and he manned the third base position pretty well for the most part. So, any infielders you think that didn't make it that should have made it?
Tough to say off the top of my head.
I mean, the only thing I will
First base, looking at first base, so many first basemen going into the draft, a lot of talent. First of all, my first baseman, he hit over 500 throughout the year, finished just below Joe Barsano. He had a great year.
He also missed a bunch of games, right? I saw a bunch of less at-bats on his stat line.
A lot of walks, a lot of walks.
Oh, there you go.
He didn't miss any weeks.
Oh, go, wow.
But a lot of the names going, Adam Cohen, usually an all-star.
Yeah, but Adam had a subpar year.
Okay, fine. I'm just saying name recognition.
Yeah,
You're a lot of
name-wise, you're
first
right.
basemen with talent.
And it's
Rick is
funny,
clearly the best.
if I go
Benjamin was having a good year early on.
when I go through the list, I think Mark Richter is clear cut ahead above everybody at first base,
This
defensively
year.
and offensively. Even now this year, I think his name just gets underlooked because he's a very low-key, quiet guy. But I think talent-wise, he's the most talented first baseman in our league, no question. I don't know if you disagree or not, but that's just the way I feel.
I agree.
Anyway, let's get to the outfield position. Again, leading vote getter in outfielding is Joseph Ferrati, obviously well-deserved. And then we have welcome to the league for the second consecutive year, Natan Safdie. When Natan, listen, when he's on, he's on. He's fast,
For sure.
fastest guy to first base, no question. Thanks to him being a lefty and also he's a speedster. But Natan was great. And then we have a guy, Yoni Sarfati, who made it. I do believe he should have had at least 2 more weeks played to qualify here. But talent-wise, he's there with the best of them. I don't know if you guys saw him on a good week or a bad week. I know some of you guys were not impressed when you saw him, but I know Yoni for a long time, and he's a perennial first-round type of talent. And then your boy, David Sabag. David Sabag, surprisingly amazing year. He keeps on getting under the radar type of guy.
Every year his numbers go up.
But he's still under the radar. But finally his name is being recognized. You see his name at the top of the average leaderboards. I think he was 3rd in the league in average. And also he played a really strong outfield. People don't give him credit because he doesn't have the build of an outfielder. But when I played you guys, he tracks everything out there. Well deserved on David Sabagan. To round out the outfielder position is also a guy that I didn't think anything of going into the year because I never saw him play. But you spoke very high of him, was Abraham Rudy. So let's just round it out. Safarati, Natan Safdie, Yoni Sarfati, David Sabag, Abraham Rudy. Off the bat, I'll tell you, I think Bobby Safdie got snubbed. He had a really good year. But I'm not really looking at the player list right now. But listen, either way, no matter how you slice it, that's a very talented outfield right there. Thoughts?
Yeah, definitely think Bobby got snubbed. Didn't see a couple of these guys enough to tell you who he should have got in front of. But Bobby was great defensively and offensively. We all know how he could hit.
Yeah.
He was laying out.
I think he gets a bad rep defensively. I said this before, I'll say it again. And he really is a strong outfielder. But either way, it was between him and David Sabag. And either way, no matter how you slice it, either one you're good with. Who would I take out? I don't think I would take out. Maybe I would take out Yoni Sarfati because he didn't have enough games or at bats.
Stuff the ballot box on that one.
Yoni?
On Sabag.
I love Sabag. I think he's having a really unbelievable
You
year.
didn't deny it then.
No, I snubbed the ballot. I voted for him.
How many computers?
I voted for him.
So listen, and just to round it out, one last thing. Albert Dweck was selected as catcher. Also really strong year.
Representation for Moneyball, yeah.
Yeah, no, a lot of
batting
people.
title.
Listen, now we'll talk about that right now. Congratulations to Albert Dweck, not River, the other Albert Dweck, for winning the batting title. He really took everyone by a complete surprise. He came into the week, I think he was behind 3 or 4 guys, yourself included, behind Sabag, and he just came and he was scorching the ball all day yesterday, and he earned it. You can't take it away from him. There weren't cheap hits. A kid like that, how old is he? Was he 19 years old, 18 years old?
No, he's up there. He's more than that.
You think he's older than that?
21, 22.
His picture looked like he'd never shaved before, so I don't know. The kid definitely had a year that surprised us. I know a lot of us are talking next year, where is he going to go in the draft? Is he going to go high, low, still in between? I still think his draft slot stays until he proves it year after year, but either way, a hell of a year. Albert Dweck, tip of the cap, tremendous job.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I mean, he spoke about it before the game. He told me, he was gunning for the batting title. In the first game, we got a lot of bad luck. He went 1 for 4, something like that, including 2 really hard shots, one at me and one at my left fielder that should have been hits, but just right at someone. And he bounced back to his credit. And the second game, he went 4 for 4, I believe.
You got to give credit where it's due. The kid had a great year.
Finished close to 600, I think.
Yeah, at a 580 something. That's a tremendous year. I don't care how. Even if they're lucky hits, the fact that you're that lucky all the time is crazy.
First time I saw him play, so I was very impressed.
And you know what's funny? When I played him, I don't remember playing against him. So like, he's unassuming, but he's on base all the time.
Yep.
Either way, I think let's jump. That wraps it up for the entire All-Star selection. Congratulations, everybody.
League additions. The league adds 2 guys. Who are they adding?
Oh, so the 2 extra. I think those are that was in that list. The 2 added players. Those are added to that list.
Okay.
Yeah. So now that wraps up the All-Star selection show, and now let's get into the playoff matchup. We're going to start with the 3 seed versus the 6 seed. So now today, DT had an opportunity to select from all the teams out there, and I think he made a very wise decision of selecting the Teletubbies. So now the Teletubbies, they were 6-8 on the year, very ho-hum type of year. They never really gelled or meshed. They have talent on the team, don't get me wrong, but for some reason they just never clicked. Magic Grits got hot, and if you take away their 2 losses that were not real losses, that obviously there are losses in the records, but they're really one of the stronger teams in the league, and no one really understands that because they look at the record, they see 8-6, they probably could be 9-5 or 10, whatever it may be.
8-4.
So yeah, so either way, they're a really strong team, and you want to break it down over here. I'll actually give the floor to you right now because you guys saw Magic Grits and Teletubbies more recent than I did. So go ahead. What do you think?
So I actually had the pleasure of playing Magic Grits last week and Teletubbies the week before.
So they're fresh in your mind, both of them.
So I mean, look, Jaakko Soroya, very hittable, like we saw Eddie Herrera, very hittable. But when they play solid defense, it's very, very hard. I mean, I saw Jojo Soroya, the guy literally barehanded a ball. Full charge, threw it sidearm or half underarm, I don't know what he did, threw the guy out, fast runner in front.
So it's good to hear that JoJo finally waking up at the right time, because I know he had a really abysmal start of the year.
Yeah, I mean, even his at-bats, we were playing him to God knows where.
Like the Brooklyn Ball.
The mush ball.
I mean, he was roping the ball. A lot of shots were right at people, of course, but I mean, roping the ball. They have a very good team. But game 1 that we played against them was 0-0 going to the 6th or 7th inning.
Strong team, and they're playing. Your team doesn't have all the offense in the world to just play it out there. But I'm just letting you know, the bottom line is you're a playoff team, and they're a playoff team, and you saw the both of them. So bottom line, you saw Teletubbies, you saw the Grits. You know who they both are. You're both familiar with them. What is your call? You have no horse in the race.
I mean, I think Magic Grits probably made the right call. It was a good selection for them. I
actually want to put something out there. Hayam Rudy was out. I think, traveling to India again, and they actually chose to select me to pick up Hayam Rudy only to bat. And I think they made a terrible mistake by saying, Sam, no thank you, we know you're a good bat, we know you could hit, but they went with Morty Shrem instead. Now listen, Morty Shrem, he has ways to go. He's definitely a future star in the league. But if he's the same Morty Shrem that I saw this past week, he's not going to scare anyone at the plate. And maybe he'll play a really good second base. I hope he does. That's why he went with them, for the defense. But I think the bat that you're missing that I possess is actually a terrible, terrible decision that you make. What do you think about that?
All right, Sam, you got a little bit of a snub from your bat, but at the end of the day, Morty Shrem, they went defense over offense. That's all you got to say.
Well, they got a complete guy. Guy could hit and field. You're just hitting.
I don't know.
I'm sure if you were able to play the field, they would have taken you.
No, that's fact. That's fact.
But you can't play the field. So
I still think the bat that I have over Morty Shrem's package deal and the rah-rah that I bring to a team is the scales tip.
Maybe they heard about your injury though. They were
no injury. I was just trying to,
listen. You bat 3 to 4 times per game. You'll get walked 1 or 2 times.
I don't walk. I batted 1 hit away from a 500 this year. What did Morty bat? 330 with 320? It's a big difference. And I look at their team; they're missing a bat.
Are they missing? How's their infield look? Like, if they would have gone with you, who would have played second base for them?
They have Vic Busu. They have Jack Harari. They have, who am I missing?
Underrated Chazanov.
Chaz playing shortstop. There's 3 infielders right there.
Right.
So you're gonna put a first baseman. You have that guy. What's his name? The tall dude. And his name escapes my mind. Pretty good defensive first baseman. It'll come to me in a minute.
Joe Gindy?
No. On Teletubbies.
The guy that Rudy's wrote with them.
Yeah, no, he's a good player. I'll think of his name in a minute.
I ride him with Ringer. Something with Ringer.
My body. Either way, they have
Rennick.
Matthew Rennick.
Rennick the Ringer.
Rennick the Ringer. Listen, so you have Rennick at first base.
Rennick the ringer.
Yeah, listen, Rennick at first base, you have
Close.
Chaz at short, Busu at second, and Jack Harari at third. What does that mean? You're 100% wrong over here.
Listen, honestly,
He made his pick on
I'm thinking about this now. The truth is, they made a mistake.
I agree with the mistake.
Because Saruya is a good pitcher, but I think that good hitters, experienced hitters, can hit him well. And that's what you are, and they're going to need that. They're going to need a big hit. They struggle to score runs.
And I was up front with Jack.
Yeah.
Jack, you severely screwed up over here because I'm on fire right now. I'm hitting the ball really well. You can laugh all you want.
You know what? I'll say this. I think going against you is in everyone's favor at this point because you haven't won a game really the whole season.
Neither did Morty, though. So.
Offensively, you can't argue. I was fifth in the league in average this year, Joe.
I don't think it's anything to do with you. I think you get a complete guy, a guy who's going to field and hit. They can put Chaz anywhere they want.
But that's what it came down to. They said they're going to put him at second base, and hopefully he is.
He's not playing second base.
He is. Jack's playing shortstop, and Busu's going to
So
third.
they moved Chaz.
They're moving Chaz to the outfield. Whatever,
I
it's
don't
over.
agree with that call as a manager, but
Regardless, anyway, bottom line, what's your call? Grits versus Teletubbies. All that being
I
said.
said Grits.
You said Grits in 2, you 3. What's your call?
I'll give Grits in 3 just because I think Jack Harari is severely underrated. He's a true leader, and if he gets hot, I think they can actually push him to game 3.
Steven.
I'm going to say also same call, Grits in 3, but not because of Jack Brown. I'm going to say because of Abraham Rudy. I think this guy's got blue collar written all over him. He's the X factor.
So you're giving Abraham Rudy them a victory because of Abraham? Otherwise,
he's the key to their stealing a game.
Okay.
That's what I'm pretty much. That's my.
Right.
Wow, this sucks because I agree with both of you. And
I disagree with you both, you guys.
That's
because
good. So
I'll go before you if you want.
You can go before me.
I want him to be on the spot. I
You
say,
got stumped, so you're
listen,
not playing this.
Grits in a sweep, brother.
Mercy sweep?
No mercy sweep, but a sweep. Teletubbies.
Is this a vindictive prediction by you? Or?
A little bit.
Okay.
The problem is, if Teletubbies win, we have to play one. We may have to play one.
Right.
No, but that's part of the media business.
No, come on.
You're going to be scared of that? That's going to persuade you?
They're going to be low-scoring games. They're going to be close.
Estimate that.
Cross the board, all 4 of us are agreeing. Grits are beating the Teletubbies. They're not strong enough offensively in there. You know, they do have a tendency of making terrible defensive plays. I've seen it myself. So anyway, let's go to the next matchup, the more of the juicy matchup. We have Spaceballs, represented right here by Ray, versus Any Given Sunday going against Joe. So we have a 6-8 Spaceballs, which is mind-boggling that you were 6-8. What'd you guys
Most
lose?
underrated team in
What did you lose? 4 of your last
I
5?
think the underrated tag is gone
Like
at this point. No, I don't like it.
You don't like
We lost the last 5 games of the season.
That's disgusting.
We
It's
beat
disgusting.
Joe in game 1 3 weeks ago. We were 6-3. We were looking great. We were leading in game 2, and we gave away our 3rd game at that point.
No, so you guys, it sounds like, and Teddy didn't show up for you last week, which didn't help matters, but you guys, you packed it up.
We lost to a better team last week. Period.
No, but
so
right.
that's fine.
In my
but-
opinion, I think what happened is that once you clinched, you took your foot off the gas, and all the Safties, Spaceballs, the whole gas, they just weren't prepared. And
I appreciate
I
that.
got an opinion
That's not
on
what
that
happened.
team. I think, again, the talent we know is there, the names are there, but I think they're not one cohesive unit. And you know what? Out of all teams to expect that from, the least of all is Ray Estes' team. He leads them, he's a well-rounded leader.
rumor has it
For some reason,
that
they all go in
Ray
different
threw a
directions.
clipboard at Natan Safdie's
He blamed
head.
it on the
I did
5-hour
not
energy
throw it
shot.
at his head.
So, but
I threw it
never
next to
his
I
head.
threw it
in
at
the
the fence.
in the vicinity
And
of his head.
the noise.
And it caused
scared him.
Natan to curse.
Right.
And leave.
So here's
I don't know about
so
that.
let's just get this straight. Ray, you lose 5 in a row. You guys are in disarray. You're spiraling out of control. You're throwing clipboards at your star center fielder's head. All is not well in the clubhouse.
Well, 5 losses in a row is all you need to say, right? That's all I care about.
Listen, Ray, you got on me for becoming Tarzan after I lost 5 games in a row and I decided to step away.
I still see
You're
your
right.
steroid neck.
I was very upset. So I understand where Ray's coming from. When you have a team that doesn't want to play, or they're sleeping half the time, just go out.
Well, let's back up. Let me just set the record straight here. I'm not saying my team is sleeping. My guys want to win more than anybody.
I don't know.
Teddy is a warrior. Natan leaves it all out there. But
Ray,
nobody hustles
there's
like
2
Bobby.
aspects. There's desire, there's execution.
Correct. And that's exactly right.
You say that, but yet there was some serious hustling issues this past Sunday. There were guys not hustling.
There was one instance that I think you're talking about. We could break down that play if you'd
There was
like.
a couple of guys on the first base that were not busting.
I saw one play where a couple of guys in the game didn't know the situation, including the man to my left. Was 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs. The guy had a ground ball to Steve.
Right, okay, perfect.
Ground ball to Steve.
So David Kang goes to second base.
Don't interrupt. Ground ball to second base, his shortstop. Steven caught the ball. Flipped to second with 2nd and 3rd. Freddie Hittery, who hit the ball, I'm going to say his name, it's okay, he knows, didn't run it out because he thought it was going to be an easy ground ball to shortstop, throw to first out. Didn't run. When he saw the flip to second, he started running.
I'm sorry, Freddie's in the league for 10 years. Cardinals.
He made a mistake.
Inexcusable.
Absolutely.
Inexcusable.
And listen, the truth is, that's been the story of our season. It's our season in a microcosm.
Well, you know what? To your luck, the season starts again
Correct.
this Sunday.
And that's exactly what I told the guys.
You got to bury the ball. You got to put red triangles stuff.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Magic Grits and Spaceballs, you know, these guys, they could explode at any minute. You know, you don't want you playing with fire.
I don't know if you heard what I said a few weeks ago on the show. I think you guys have more talent than anyone in the league. Pound for pound, top to bottom.
We've been
You're underperforming.
saying that song all season long. We got to show it on the field.
That's the problem. I think you guys are going with that mentality. We're better than everyone else, and you look past everybody else.
I
You know,
point.
it's time to put up or shut up, Ray. I'm sorry. That's what it comes down to. So, listen, I'm going to let both you guys obviously make a call because why the hell not? But, you know, I'm going to start with Steven, though. Steven, because you're the only guy that's not involved in this, and you're going to try to separate from Joe for a minute with the umbilical cord. So, actually give me an honest statement.
I think what Joe said about his pitcher last week says a lot because he hasn't said it all year. We talked privately, obviously, throughout the week. He said his pitcher was the best he's seen.
You're going with Diamondstein over Hittery instead of the team over the team.
First of all, going to a playoff matchup, the first thing you look for is the pitching matchup. We know what Freddie brings. He's brought the same thing for the last couple of years. This guy's a new guy. We haven't seen him. All of a sudden, he's throwing good stuff. He's throwing smoke. But he had his ups and downs. Now he's peaking at the right time. We know that matchup is equal. We know it.
So you're calling a 3-game series, obviously.
I'm going with Joe by the pitching matchup.
In 3 or in 2?
In 3.
Okay, so listen, I'm almost on the same page as you. But like I said before, Ray's team, the Spaceballs, are a complete clown show right now. I'm sorry, you don't lose 5 games in a row and have clipboards being flung at the star center fielder's head, and you have base running blunders and guys forgetting what base to go to and how many outs there are in an inning. That's a circus. I'm sorry. And like you said, Joe, your team is right there. You guys are humming right along. No one's talking about you guys, which is a huge thing for you guys. Everyone's saying how underrated Ray's team is and how great they are. And I'm a big fan of Diamondstein, and I'm always going with the pitcher. I'm actually taking Joe. The name of your team, I forget. Any given Sunday, which is this Sunday in 2 games.
Wow.
I don't think you guys are eking out a victory. Now, Joe, what's your call? What do you? I'm not going to ask you for a take because you're going to say you're going to win.
Keys to the game.
What do you think about what we just said to break down your games, and what do you think keys to the game are to actually do this and beat him?
I mean, I will say that the key to the game is Diamondstein. The guy is lights out. After what I saw him do to Magic Grits, struck out DT, struck out Joe Gindy, struck out I don't know, 10 other guys.
What do you have to say about his walk issue, though?
His walk issue is
a big bugaboo. He walks. I think he leads the league in walks.
Beginning of the season, yes. Go look at the last 3 matchups. The guy got everything under control. He knows how to look at the entire team and say, this is what I'm doing. Communication is key. He jumped up and he said, that's it. I'm going to communicate to my guys. I see that you guys are out there to play for me, and everyone's humming along. We're playing great defense behind them. Our bats come up to a slow start, but when we start clicking, the balls start flying off the ball. Look, we had 9 guys.
It sounds like you guys are making the most of what you have.
Absolutely.
And you guys are doing the complete opposite. You're making the least of what you have.
So far.
So far. Listen, again, the season starts again on Sunday, and please prove me wrong. I love to be proven wrong when I say these things.
I'll prove you right. It's okay.
I hope so for your sake, and I hope not for his sake, whatever that means.
The keys to the game for us are simple. We just got to play the way we can. We got to play smart out there. We got to execute. We have a game plan every week. When we execute our game plan, we win.
You just gave me a bunch of vanilla blah blah
You're interrupting me.
No, you're not giving me any info.
What do you want to hear exactly?
What's your strategy to beat that team?
I want to know the game plan.
Not we're gonna just go about executing the game plan.
I don't know what to tell you. The way you win in softball is you hit the ball, you catch. I'm going to give you all the cliches in the book. That's what it is. What am I going to tell you?
I'm sorry. No, I disagree. I think he's got a point here. Give him a point or two. What do you have to do to the other team to give you something better?
Listen, we faced them last time. Diamond's team was impressive. He did a great job. We hit well. We didn't score enough runs. I don't think we had enough timely hitting, but I don't think we're intimidated. I heard he pitched great last time. I heard he pitched really well, but look, we saw what we saw, and we're going in there with the right head.
I think seeing this guy, though, will be helpful.
I agree.
Because everybody saw him for the first time once.
And I, as far as Freddie's concerned, Freddie knows how to win. I've won with him. I have a trophy with him, a really impressive trophy. Where he stepped up, you were on that team, so
First
you
of all,
could speak to
Ray,
Yes.
I got distracted for a minute. Which hat are you wearing, Joe, right now?
I'm wearing 2013.
That's a 2013 BKS championship hat. What's that on your knee?
And then I have a 2015 BKS championship over
Oh, you
here.
got a lot of hardware.
You didn't tell me to bring my hat. I would have worn that.
I
mean, he
don't
only-
make hats in 1974.
I bought one 3 years ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I have a hat. I would have brought it.
But I'm grilling Ray today. Sorry, guys.
What team were you on when you won it 3 years ago?
When I won it 3 years ago, I was on Steven's team.
Exactly, that's what I thought, right? And then the first time you won it was Steven
I was on
Young?
my team.
Your team? No
Correct.
Steven?
No Steven.
Wow, so he carried his own weight 1 year. I'll give
But he
it.
lost a lot of weight though, so it's
A lot easier job this
Wow, you
year.
guys are going at each other.
very feisty night we got here for the
Monday.
playoff preview
Only
show.
Monday.
No, listen, guys. Bottom line
It's
is,
a great matchup. These
It
guys
is.
said they have to
There's
have
fire. There's fire.
It's definitely fire.
aside from the starting pitching matchup, because I definitely agree you have the edge, and I'm going to actually ask you differently. Aside from Bobby and Natan, who is going to be the difference maker in the lineup for you guys? I don't mind if you say Teddy.
No, I mean, look, the truth is, Teddy and Natan and Bobby and Jack Beebe have been producing all year.
But who's your guy? You got to pick one guy.
If I got to pick one guy that has to step up, I'm going to say me, because I had an awful
Wow.
season. I had an awful season this year at the plate. Sub 300, I think, for the first time since my rookie year.
I'll be
And-
right behind second base for Ray.
No problem.
I'm gonna say
You
Jack
remember
Beebe.
what happened the last time you did that, right?
Yeah, you had 1 hit.
Jack
The one
Beebe.
time you did it.
Jack Beebe's your
Jack
call.
Beebe is the key.
You know, my call is Teddy. I think Teddy, after missing last week, is going to come out man on fire. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but I think he's going to hit well.
Let's get guys some
Joe, who is on your team anyway?
Doesn't matter.
No, I'm just curious. There's Joseph Ferrati. Who hits behind you and in front of you? It makes no sense. How are you scoring runs every week?
I hit a home run. What else am I supposed to do?
Wow.
What am I supposed
Saying
to do?
my team stinks.
No, not at all. Definitely not taking my
That's
team.
what I heard, no?
I think I heard that.
We're trying to figure out what the right lineup is.
Okay, wait, fine. Instead of
Adam's underperforming. Wedge is underperforming.
where is Adam batting in the lineup still?
He's batting right behind me. Unfortunately,
missed
last week
Behind
he
me.
missed.
Where is Wedge batting? Are these guys hitting over 300 this year?
They're batting somewhere around 300, 305. You know, look,
I just got the cold sweats here on that. That's
underperformed.
crazy.
So imagine what we could actually do if we come to play and focus.
No, but on that token, the same for them. If these guys put it together,
Agreed.
they'll rip you guys open.
He has a better defensive team than he has a hitting team. We know
Yeah,
that. One of his best hitters is this rookie kid,
Tricky.
Shrieky.
He's batting 400. He's the second best on the team.
Yeah, the
That's what
suicide bomber, Shrieky. He goes, "Hey!" every time he hits the ball. It's crazy. No, but Shrieky can
Does
really
it? I don't know.
He does it. Shrieky can really hit the ball. I've seen the kid
Yeah, it's
play.
a good-
Definitely
good
hits the
swing.
ball.
He does.
He's got a nice level. Believe it or not, Dan Estes is leading the league in triples, I believe.
Yeah,
the guy.
these
the guy
numbers you're
is-
pulling out of your
He
ass.
won the rookie round.
Came prepared.
This is crazy.
I'm
He's
telling
reading the
you.
notes on his palm right now.
I'm telling you, I looked at it top to bottom. Play a great defensive game. Once we have to start to come in. When we played, I think we had 10 runs against your game, 11 runs against Teletubbies. When we want to hit, we start hitting.
I'm not gonna, okay, fine. Listen, you guys definitely can put it together every now and then, but for consistently you haven't, and same for you. So,
Correct.
really, between these two matchups over here,
I mean, we had 2 weeks where we had 9 guys and we won. We split both those.
credit to you. You play 3 positions in the outfield. It's great. But no, between your matchup with you two guys, it's the story. The storyline really is the two underperforming teams.
What I like about our team is that I had the same core last year. I played with Natan and Bobby and a couple other guys, Nessa Def, and we're hungry. Last year there was a little unfinished business. We felt like
Who won last year?
you beat us badly last year. I was on the sidelines injured, and it still hurts. And that's why I'm happy we're getting a chance at redemption. So, you know, Joe's a great team. We're gonna have to step up and play our game. But I really believe that the guys are hungry on my team and want to prove, because last year
Every
we
team
won.
is hungry. Every team is
So
hungry.
bottom line consensus. Let's go back a little bit. We all agree that Teletubbies is getting swept or losing in 3. Right? That's just, we all think they're going to lose the series. And it seems like there's a split room over here on what's going to happen.
No, it seems like all you guys think Joe's winning.
So Ray's just gonna not go against.
Yeah, I have Joe in 3.
Joe in 3.
Tough bat, old
Joe in
tough.
2. You have
I
obviously
believe
yourself in
my
2.
team.
I'm going myself in two.
Guys, there's obviously a lot on the line. Guys, just a reminder, games are again in Deal this Sunday. The first field location will be my Night League field. I'll give you guys address directions. I'll blast it out to you guys on Instagram and on WhatsApp. And the other location we are shoring up right now, working on something really good. It's going to be a great series. I'm looking forward to both of them. Really exciting. And
Love for the bye
guys,
teams, that's right.
and the bye teams waiting in the wings. We have Stephen Gindy. Who do you hope? You know what? Before I finish up over here, who do you want to play?
He'll play whoever he wants. He's going to tell us who he wants to
No,
play.
who
by
do you?
choosing.
Who are you? Out of all the teams remaining, who do you want to play?
Mark Cohen.
That's
All the teams
cute.
remaining.
Remaining, that's a good question. I have to look back. I mean, it's tough.
I'll
break it
refresh
down.
No, you didn't like Vanilla Answers.
No, I think talent-wise, Teletubbies is the clear.
Everyone wants to face Teletubbies.
We know
Again, they're the little engine that couldn't.
But again, to have guys who play me well, like Chaz, he's got a little extra for me. We know that. I'm not dying to play them.
Okay, so we're ranking them right now. So Teletubbies is the team you want to face.
No
the most.
shot on ranking.
The next team you want to face.
No shot.
Well, I know you're not going to pick against Joe.
Listen, they're tough matchups. I'm just glad I don't have to play them both. That's the truth.
All right, that's what you earned to be the number one seed. No, you don't. There's no way that.
That means you're not going to pick either one of us if we win?
He
So you're
can't.
picking the winner of DT versus Teletubbies.
Sounds like
that on the air.
So,
I
that's what just happened.
So then we're done. We're down
So
to
I'll rank him for Steven. He said he'd rather face Teletubbies 1, Grits 2. He won't play against Joe because for some reason they have some bad blood when they play against each other. So it'll be Ray 3 and
Then-
Joe
then-
4.
no,
I nailed it.
What? He'll go to Jackie Schwecky before he
Yeah.
comes to me. He'll go to Fake 23 Blitz before he comes to me.
Oh, he can pick fake
He can
23
pick
Blitz.
Oh, wait.
Wow.
Yeah, the Jackie Schwecky bad blood from last year with you
Bad
guys.
blood?
You traded him again as the last overall pick? I remember that.
No, he intentionally selected him to hold on to his team so he plays second base.
And he beat you in the World Series. Damn, Jackie Schwecky.
Wow.
So, okay, guys, a lot on the line. I hope you guys could process this all. I hope it wasn't hard hitting as much as I thought it was, but guys, I hope you guys were cool after this and you're not going to be chasing me out of this house. But, guys,
I'm good with you.
all right, we're good. I don't know about Steven. He's giving me the devil eyes. And
Joe
Joe,
will pick you this
he
up.
just flexed like I got hit in the face. So, guys, have a great night.